Hello everyone, this is Lupe from BrunoPlanningCO. Thanks for joining me. I'm so excited to share my first daily duo plan with me. I'm loving this planner. If you are new to my channel, I used to plan on the Erin Condren Daily Binder pages, but I just recently switched to the Daily Duo, and I'm again so excited just to show you how I've been doing it. So here I'm just showing you some of my spreads from the last few weeks. It's been working so well for me in these days, just staying productive. And here I just wanted to show you really quickly how I've been really liking keeping the theme the same for both days on one, what do you call it? The 2-day spread that you see. I like keeping the theme the same. I think it's been working really well. I like the way that it looks, and it also just gives me more time when I'm planning, because if I've already picked kind of the color scheme and the theme, I'll just keep it the same for the next day, and it'll be a little bit easier to plan while still looking very pretty. It just cuts down on the time that I have to think about the theme that I want to use, because it is kind of hard to think of something different every single day. And I don't use Daily Duo kits. I want to start looking into them, but I do have a lot of washi, and I just bought a bunch more, and a ton of Erin Condren stickers, and of course my own stickers from my sticker shop. So I haven't been using any kits, so you'll see me not use one here as well. But I will look into them, because I think that a lot of them are really pretty, and I want to see what the cost is, and just, how I could possibly use them. If you haven't seen any of my other plan with me's, what I typically do is I write all of my to-dos for the day where it says to do in no particular order. I just section them off into home, my sticker shop, and school, now that the school year is almost starting. And then on the left side in the hourly is where I schedule every single task. So I do end up rewriting it, but that's okay with me. I need that. I usually just look at the hourly section and forget about this to-do section. So right here, I'm just using a stamp to box out my AM routine. I could just use an AM routine sticker, but I really do like kind of rewriting again what I do every morning. Sometimes it changes, but most of the time it's the same. But I do like rewriting it so that I know, exactly what I have to do. And there there was something bulging, and it was the pouch from the Erin Condren pouch that we used to get, and it was kind of bothering me. So again, these tasks typically stay around the same every day. And then I use one of my coffee stickers from my shop, just to note that it's going to be a long morning, it's going to be kind of a long day, and I definitely need some coffee. And then I'm just going to go and section off my meals, which I should have done first. I usually like doing that first. And I'm just doing lunch, which is at 1, and then dinner, which is at 5. And then I don't know if you noticed before, but I use my stamp pad to rest my hand when I'm getting kind of low on the page. I don't know if you guys notice, but sometimes when you're really low on the page, your hand doesn't really sit well because it's not on the planner. So I use my stamp just to kind of rest my hand. So I went in and sectioned that off. I also have an important, we have an important appointment that day with an engineer. So I wanted to make sure that was a little bit more obvious. And so I used another stamp just to make it a little bit clearer, so it can stand out a little bit from everything else. And I did kind of the same thing here with just some dash marks with picking up some orders. I have to go and pick up some orders that I placed at 2 stores, I believe I said. And here I'm just using one of my character stickers with the laptop, because I'm going to be doing a lot of kind of research and files and things on my laptop that day. So I have been sectioning off my hourly the way that I'm doing it now for the past few days, and I'm really, really loving it. This was actually the first day that I started doing it. So I'm kind of blocking off my days into my 2 sections of working on my sticker shop and working on some school things. The home things like cleaning, I'll just kind of put it in. It's not like a ton of things, but the shop and the school, I'm really loving having this kind of block. So I'll do a lot of my sticker shop stuff before lunch, which is kind of the middle of my day, and then I will do all kinds of school things at the after lunch and after some cleaning. So I really, really like this method, and I like the way that it looks. It just seems a lot more organized. I used to kind of just do things all over the place and throughout the day, but I'm really loving just blocking out sections of time for those two really main things that I'm doing throughout the day. And here I'm just going back. I took a bunch of my stickers and placed them on my hand. I don't know if anybody ever does that, but it just seems a little bit easier to just place them for the weather and for a package I'm going to receive and for baseball. Just a little note that there's a baseball game tonight that I can watch. I usually watch it on my iPad while I'm planning. And then I'm sectioning off the evening as well so that I can see visually when my evening starts. What I typically do is I plan, I'll do any orders that have come through the day, get those ready to ship the next morning, and then I will also try to end all of that stuff early so that I can relax a little bit with my husband. And again, I'm really loving the look of just having these kind of blocks of time sectioned off. It's just so much easier to look at and just work with my brain a little bit more. And here I'm just using a menu sticker from my shop just to let me know what we're having for dinner that night. And it's kind of like a perfect little box to write a meal, and it's big enough to write kind of a lengthy meal, but also just condensed enough not to take up a bunch of space. And I also used a water tracker as well. And I just show you the brush pen I'm going to use here. I really like this one because it matches the July color, and I just wanted to kind of emphasize those blocks of time, so I went ahead and used that brush, and I actually ended up changing it later, so stick around to see how I change it a little bit. And I use my Mildliner just to give some check boxes for my to-dos on the hourly, because that is what I look at. Nice little quote. And then I wanted to just emphasize that we have an appointment, so I want to make sure that I use this exclamation point, but I didn't know where to put it. I ended up just putting it in the same spot I started with. Do you guys ever do that? I don't know. Thankfully, it was removable enough that I was able to do that. Sorry for adjusting my camera there. I just wanted to show you that I'm going to use a little bit of washi because it looked a little, I wanted to keep this spread a little bit more plain than usual, just because I wanted it, I just had a really busy day this day and I want to make sure that I'm focusing really hard on that. But I thought it was too plain, so I went ahead and just added some really pretty washi that has a gold foil, very similar to the quote that I put in the little box. And then you'll see me add a little bit more. And I use these, I use the Erin Condren ruler to cut the washi, which has worked really well for me. Okay, so here it is, the finished product. And as you can see, I went ahead and took my brush pen and just kind of continued the color down the box, down the sectioned boxes. And I think it just looks a little bit prettier and a little bit nicer, and a little bit more organized as well. Some ideas and inspiration for your spread. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and have a great weekend, everyone.